Nobody wants to date me. I want to date you. I find you really attractive, and I think that we should go out. Go away.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but 5'11 is 5'11. It's not a suggestion, it's a rule of measurement. So if you put on your dating profile that you are 5'11, I'm going to assume that you are 5'11. So if I open up the door at my 5'4 and we're the same height, so you are now short and a liar, I need you to pick a struggle.
What in the world that even means, I do not know. But I say step on the scale then. We can all have our own forms of measurements, right? Weed out the wildebeest. But you can't say that. You can't say that because then you get canceled, right? You're not a real man unless you're willing to take on some salty, sweaty, overweight, strong, independent woman. You know why men lie about being 6 feet tall? I'll tell you why. Here's a video example, as a matter of fact. Let's roll the tape, Jamie.
How short is too short in a guy?
Like 6'4".
Really? How tall are you?
5'8".
5'8"? Okay. How tall do you think I am?
5'6".
You serious?
Yeah, like max.
You don't
I'm
think
literally taller than you.
You think you're taller than me?
I'm literally taller than you. It's just your hat.
She's literally taller than him. It's just a hat. Let's do one more because I love these. Just to illustrate the point. This one's great.
How short is too short in a guy?
Respectfully, I'm from New York. If you're not 6 feet, you can't fuck with me, all right?
How tall are you?
I'm 4'11".
How tall are you?
4'11".
All right. How tall do you think I am?
You're like 5'5".
5'5"?
Yeah, you mad short. Uh-huh.
Your Honor, I rest my case and I motion to dismiss with extreme prejudice. Apparently, women have no spatial awareness. The phenomenon is strange because like 15 years ago when I used to hit it hard, I'm talking about online dating, I used to bartend, so I got around. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was ever saying anything about height. I never saw any profiles talking about 6 foot tall. You got to be this and you got to be that. And I'm sure women still had those preferences. Well, then what was the difference? Well, I think that it was socially considered rude to belittle people for something, an attribute that they can't change. Just like weight, you just filtered people out, right? Based on your preference. There's no reason to throw it in the face, to make videos about it, to parade it around. It is a pervasive sense of meanness that is allowed. It's not only tolerated, but it's encouraged. The point that makes it even more sad is that most men's dream, really, like their whole life goal, is to find a partner, fall in love, and be happy, right? Maybe even have a family. And so this is that trait you can't change. It is a chink in the armor. It's an insecurity. And most men don't have a whole lot of insecurities, mind you. But this is like one of the few, and it's celebrated to twist the knife in there, right? And act like men that aren't a certain height are not even human. It's tolerated because it's considered punching up, right? You're punching up, even though men have the highest suicide rates, the highest workplace fatalities, the highest homelessness, the highest war deaths. Hell, the most people that die of starvation or in the cold in the streets are men by a huge number. We're talking 90 percentile on all of those stats that I just told you. So how is it possible that it's punching up? Why is this just allowed socially? Oh, we're punching up. And you can't even reason. You can't bring any reason to it. I saw another video recently, which was, I'll show a little bit of the preview. A woman went to the police office, she went to a police station to complain about a cyber stalker. I guess some guy online that was being a pervert, being an asshole, right? So she makes a video teary-eyed saying, the police, there's not a whole lot they can do, I understand. Listen, I've been jumped by 4 dudes and robbed in a store, beaten as a bloody pulp, and the cops didn't do nothing. So let's not act as somehow they're not doing anything just because you're a woman. But that's what is portrayed. And the guy is there rewatching the video saying, oh yeah, man, it's on us. We got to do better, yada, yada. And then he says this phrase that's been circulating, which is, until no men, it's all men. And I was like, until it's no man, it's all men. Until it's no man, it's all men. How much sense does that make? There would be no feminism without men. Men pushed for the vote, for women to vote, when the majority of women didn't even want that right to vote. It's because of male allies, really, we've made that happen over the course of time. We had all the power, and we've voluntarily been giving it up for the sake of equality. There's people that have considered themselves feminists that have been working tirelessly to help. But you don't really hear that. I think feminists don't celebrate the role that men have had in bringing all of their rights to fruition and everything. Hell, if anything, now that you can't even be called a feminist anymore, you're an ally, because that's, they're gatekeeping feminism, which is supposed to be about equality. We know it's not. They're gatekeeping equality. And it's very strange to me. So now you may have been an ally or a feminist or whatever it is and helped, and now suddenly you're boxed out. All of your help, you're dedicated your whole life to helping women. Now you're boxed out. You're like, no, you're not a feminist. You're an ally. And actually, until no men, it's all men. So you're also danger stranger. You're part of the problem. Get out. How much sense does that make? Maybe you think, well, I'm exaggerating. No, you're not. If you're painting all men in a certain way, you're painting all men in a certain way, even if though it's a small percentage that is doing wrong. If you apply these same things to any other group of people, like race or socioeconomical status, or nationality, it would be considered race. It would be considered faux pas. It would be taboo. It wouldn't be considered something good. Many people say, oh, men helped women. But women behave like they actually conned us into it. We were brainwashed into it. Like they used their seductive powers to convince us to help them in their pursuit of rights and feminism, right? That's how they behave. So it's not like they act like we voluntarily, out of the goodness of our heart, decided to do something. They act like they conned us into it. That way, they give us no credit. You'll be like, oh, we fooled you into giving us what we wanted. That's why it's never enough. We always want more, and we never give you guys credit for what's been done so far. Actually, we even demonize you more and more. So the more power we get, the more we use that power for destruction and for defamation. You're never going to get any sympathy from women. By women, I mean all women. I mean the establishment, the feminism establishment. You're not going to get any pity. You're not going to get women's groups or feminisms or anything to even acknowledge the perils or the issues that we face as men that are even caused by feminism. They're not going to acknowledge those things. Now, you guys may be like, oh, he's taking this way out of proportion. He's running with this. But I'm telling you, the height discrimination and this vile discourse that it's allowed to continue is just one small part in a lot of other things that I see pushing that are shaping the world, and it becoming more and more discriminating against men. You can't say anything about it. What do you guys think? Maybe I'm going crazy here, but I do not think so. I do not think so. Think about it. Until no men, it's all men. How does that sit with you? Punching up, remember, you can't say nothing. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? No matter what rational argument you put forth, the domestic violence that also happens to men, any of these things, it doesn't matter, because they'll say, well, women are dying. Women are dying. More women are dying and they're being killed by men and yada, yada. And that shuts down any discourse. That shuts down. What are you going to say to that? What are you going to say to that? So everything is allowed. Everything's allowed. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please tell me what you think. Have I lost my mind here? Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, buy red and sell green.